Greetings from FINICE 2021 in Oulu, Finland. We are looking at the final routes for the European Ice Climbing Cup event, the final of the season. It's a mild minus 10 degrees today out here. We start with the female competitors, Elsa Lehdonvalo, climbing the final route on the straight part of the tower. We have a lot of new Finnish names this year, which just makes us very happy. We see her beginning her ascent on the straight part of the tower. Elsa is a newcomer this year. We haven't seen her before in the events. And let's see how she does. She seems to be struggling now, going towards the intellect hold. That's already a delicate hold that she's going for. And she's grabbing it from the left side, not from the metal plate. That's a very delicate hold. I'm surprised that the ice pick is holding. But I think she realizes that and she goes for the metal part, the metal plate that has a couple of grooves, 3 grooves to put your ice tool in. She double checks it, makes sure that it's in. It's a bit safer now that's on the metal plate. She's struggling a little bit with handling of the ice axis. Oop, I think her left hand just slipped and her foot slips. She's having a very hard time with this hold. And she's hanging from one. She manages to recover. Let's see if she can make the next hold. Very, very tricky to be kicking so hard on such a delicate intellect hold. Matching doesn't seem to be helping her. She's trying to get the plastic again, which is not meant to be grabbed. She tries to move up, but it pops. She seems to be getting the hang of it, but nope, she goes down. Tricky hold. And she gets 7.05 points on her final route attempt. Now we got, from the male side, Pekka Tuomi, an Oulu local. He was a nice surprise for him to make it to the finals. We were all very happy for him. The male route also starts with a couple of tricky holds to begin. You really do not want to fall at the very beginning of the route before you've had any attempt at climbing. So we see Pekka climbing with a little bit of care. Going for a long reach. That first hold, I believe it's one of the round Krukonogi holds. We call them the Pac-Man hold. Has a little triangle up. Very good. He does the long reach. It seems that the hold was more solid than he thought. Things are looking good. He matches on this circular metal plate. It demands a lot of core strength to make that move. And I think he's going for an intellect hold. These are also very delicate holds. They only have a little groove to go into for your ice pick. And it doesn't really hold it in place. You have to be very careful where you're pulling from. Going onto I think that's a Sam's hold. It's a little rock that is pretty flat on top. So also if you're not careful where your pull is coming from, it's very easy to pop from that. As you can see right there, his left hand pops, but luckily he already had a solid hold on the right hand. Pekka is coming to the end of the straight part for the men's final route. And this is where it starts getting very interesting. It demands a lot of power to go into the roof. All right. Solid kicks. That helps a lot when your feet stick properly. They help carry the load. You don't want to carry the whole load on your arm. He manages the first clip. Takes a moment to think how he's moving next, how he wants to position the axis there on that hole. He's moving now towards the left side of the roof. And he doesn't reach it. He goes for it. He goes for it again. He goes for it yet another time. He keeps swinging up. Come on, Pekka, he can do it. He's almost there. And he manages to stick it. That's nice. Accommodating the feet. That blue area is much harder to kick in than the rest. Oh no, one axe pops. Could be a good hold. I don't know if he didn't put the axe all the way in or if it's a tricky hold and it pops. Seems that it was not as good a hold as it looked. He gets 3.12 points. Very good for Pekka, one of the local representatives. And now we have already reaching the intellect hold Sami Ratu, also an Oulu local. Just moving on. She has the tool well placed, goes for the match on the metal plate. That's a very tricky move, trying to reach, but it's quite a long reach. Goes for it again. It's unsure how high she can get on this hold before it pops. You want to be very careful there. She tries to rearrange herself a bit, move the weight, and that's it. Ooh, sparks as they come down the axis. Very good. I guess her strength gave up. It was looking very nice. Markus Huhtala now on the men's route. He already did the match on the semicircular plate. He's moving up towards the intellect. He's doing that very carefully. It's always a balance of speed and care when you're starting the finals route. You don't want to lose time on easy holds, but you don't want to pop on them either. And I think this year the holds for this first part of the wall are very tricky. They seem to be very sensitive. So you definitely want to be careful. Marco's looking solid. Believe that's the last hold from the straight part. Good position to shake a bit. Moving on from the Stein pool and getting into the roof. Looking good is using his hand to grab the holds. Those seem to be pretty big solid holds, and that gives him an extra reach when he can hold with the hand directly. You can't do that on the very small holds, but you can take advantage of it when the holds are big. Takes you higher. There's much less possibility of you falling from a hold if you're holding it with your hand. The axes sometimes pop unexpectedly, but that doesn't happen so often with hands. Let's see how he manages this reach. That seemed to be pretty long when Pekka did it. It's also struggling. He's also struggling a bit. One reach, but he manages on the second. That's very nice. Moving on to the wooden icicle. This is a nice resting position for the roof. Usually your feet are up on the roof, taking big toll on your power. He manages the second clip. Ooh, right foot pops. Uses his hand to stabilize, but the left foot catches him. He's doing well. Moves forward onto the side panel. And this is not super standard for the route here in Oulu. You manage to have your feet below you and on the side instead of being all the way on the roof. It still requires a lot of power, a lot of core strength. The next hold he wants to go to is the yellow one on this hanging box, and that seems to be a long reach. He reaches for the clip first. He seems to be climbing with a lot of care. It's a long reach for the clip. But you get more points for clipping. It's not only safer, but also more points. So if you're in doubt, you want to reach for the clip to make sure you get that one extra point. And again, that's also a balance between clipping early or clipping when you're more comfortable, because that long reach took some energy. And now he goes for a figure. That's pretty nice. Gives him a longer reach. He reaches the box. Looked a bit awkward to get into that figure, and he pulled it very well. Pulled it off well. He's moving on to the box. The swing certainly takes some core strength there as well. He reaches for another clip. That's clip number 6. Struggling there to make the clip. He must be very pumped at this stage. Switches hand. Struggling with the rope there a little bit. He doesn't want to go into the clip. And his foot is slipping. I bet his hands are pumped. But the clip is right there. And he manages the clip. Very good. Takes a minute to rest, to shake off that pump. And one more hold. We can see from this angle how much of the roof is left. That is a very long roof. Very nice dismount from the hanging box back onto the roof. Moves on to the volume. He tries to make the next move, but he comes down. He made 7.16 points. That's a very good performance by Markus. And now we have Johanna Tori on the female route. She's moving up towards that intellect hold that has given problems to the other competitors. Double checks that it's properly in place. I believe Johanna is also an Oulu local. You can tell by the lead climbing card that is hanging from her harness. That's what they use at the local gym. And she manages to do the intellect move pretty solidly with a very high leg there, and she's moving forward now. Which is a little shelf hold. This is a nice shelf, but it can also slide sideways if you don't put the weight accordingly. Moving solidly up. She's coming up to the end of the top rope section. Those first 2 clips are pre-clipped for safety. Next up is a krukonogi ball hold. And you gotta be pretty careful where you're putting your pull on that hold as well, so that the axe doesn't come out. Checking the clip distance. Giving it a little shake before she moves on. And there you go, she manages the first clip. Well, first clip or clip number 8 in the stickers, Depends on how you want to see it. Oh, and she pops from the right hand before making the reach. That was a long reach, and if you're not careful, that ball can let you down. All right. We have Jaakolehto, Jaska, coming up the straight part of the wall. Believe he managed to make the first part with ease, even skipping a couple of holds. He's now getting to the roof part. Makes the first clip. Asks him for audience excitement. Let's see how he manages this reach to the green hold. Both Pekka and Markus had a little bit of a problem reaching that. They needed a couple of swings. Jaska lets one foot hanging, but does it on the first swing. Moves on, straddles the wooden icicle. He's looking very solid there. Makes the second clip. And moves on to the panel. Little shake there. It is pretty impressive how fast that incline of the roof takes your power away. It pumps you up really quickly. Jaska's doing a match there. Hoping to get a little bit closer probably. Trying the reach. And you can see this hold is pretty far. Markus needed to do a figure to get there. That gave him the extra reach he needed. Jaska goes for a clip. Gets that extra point. Little shake as he considers what's the best way to move forward. Feet up on the roof, reach, or will he go for a figure as well? Setting up the figure there seemed like a rather awkward thing to do, passing your foot in between. Takes a bit of, there you go, that's a solid figure, and that gives him the reach he needed to get to the hanging box. Oh, he goes down with a single hand and he drops the axe. That is a shame. It's unclear if he could have kept on going. I think he had still power, but the axe fell from his mouth and that was it. You have to come down if you drop an axe. Tuuli Lapalainen now going up the wall, also on the intellect hold that has given problems before. She's reaching up. Body position seems pretty good, pretty solid. She makes the hold. That high right foot brings her where she needs to be. Gets to the little shelf there. And from there to the small Krukonogi metal hold. Yes, from this angle you can see the little ball, metal ball, where she's going to. Puts her at the end of the top rope section. Checks it with her hand. Checks the clipping distance. You don't really want to clip when you're too low. That takes extra energy and time. But you do want to clip where you're comfortable. She makes the clip. That's very good. Moving on towards the next one. You can see how the axe can rotate on that ball without problem. That's very nice. Sets up the axe for a Steinpull there. A crossed Steinpull on the left side. That's very cool. So she makes a second clip, technically clip number 9 there. Takes a little rest. You do want to shake, you do want to use all of your power. You don't want to go too quick and then have time left but no power. So it's always a balance between speed, care, and power. Oh, and the angle on that pull went a bit off and she pops down. We now have number 66, Jaakko Pellikka, climbing up the straight part of the men's final route. Going up for that intellect hold. And it's amazing how these guys make it look so smooth. It looks like the axe is just stuck there on all these holds, but this intellect hold is pretty sketchy. It's very easy to pop from there. The next one he's going to, this little rock embedded, you can see how that popped. That left hand popped. Luckily he had his hand up already solidly in place. But they're all pretty delicate holds. And it tends to happen when you're going for the move that you put more attention to the hand that is reaching, and if you forget the hand that is holding on your weight, you might redirect the weight, then that might make it pop. So they have to keep very good concentration on all body parts to make sure the angle of pull is coming from the right direction. Jaakko coming to the end of the straight section. And this is where it becomes a bit more about power. And the holds are not so tricky. In that sense, you can relax a bit and just let your muscles do the talking. Goes for the first clip. It's a long clip there. Takes a little bit of energy to do. But I guess you also want to do that clip while your feet are stayed on the vertical side. Moving to the side of the roof, let's see how he does this reach towards the green hold. Oh, feet fall down. That takes power as well. He seems to be having trouble sticking his feet on the plywood. Some areas of the plywood are harder than others. He goes on with an inverted hold, but that makes it an even longer reach. His feet popped again. That's got to be taking an incredible amount of core strength to hold. He seems to be struggling, but he insists on the inverted grip on the handle, which requires a much longer reach than what we've seen the other competitors do. And he runs out of strength, getting 3.11 points. Very good for Jaakko. Ronja Kaila starting up the female route. Couple of diagonal shelves before she gets to the intellect hold. Searches a bit. You want to be sure that it's in the right spot. It's very hard to get a proper feeling of where the tool is compared to when you do finger climbing. And she goes really high on that tool to make the reach. Still, it looks like a very solid move. Very solid climbing by Ronja so far. Moving up, Get into the end of the top rope section as well. Aiming for the ball hold. We've seen the other competitors clip from this hold. And Ronia goes also for the clip. Nope, something didn't feel right there. And she decides to readjust her right foot. Maybe she decided it was a too long of a clip, that she was wasting too much energy doing that. If you reach too much for the clip, that can put your body off balance and it could make you fall as well. She goes for a cross, but that demands a little bit more reach if you go with the other hand. And that seems to be pretty far away for her. She goes higher and she gets it. She gets it. Very long reach, and now she can do a comfortable clip. Now going for the Stein pull as well. That gives her a very, very solid stand to reach the second clip, clip number 9. The next hold seems to be a tricky one as well. I don't quite see where you're supposed to grab it from here. I think it's a bit of a side. She gets it. Will it stick? Moving on. And it sticks. Very nice. She goes to an intellect hold again. Clip seems within distance, but it will be a long clip as well. She goes for another move. And smoothly manages clip number 10. Now this is a very long move, going from that semicircle plate to the tiny yellow hold above. That's right, she needs to match on the same hold with opposite directions, and that allows her to get her body really far up. That's a very long reach, but she does it. She sticks it again. Manages clip number 11. Now this year we don't have a clock out. Oh, and she pops from that little yellow hold. 11.15 points for Ronia. That's a very good performance. And up here we have Albert Kaikkonen, Finnish from Lahti, up in the south of Finland. I was just saying that this year we don't have a clock for the audience or commentators. So the judges have their clock on the time of the routes, but we don't get to see that. Neither does the competitor. They also don't get any time warnings. So they have to balance it in their minds and know how much is the time they have left and how much they have consumed. Albert looking solid on the straight part of the wall. Long reaches, making it look easy, getting to the end of the straight part and beginning the roof. Going up to that first reach towards the green hold that others have struggled with. Let's see how that feels for Albert. changing the feet a little bit. Doesn't get it on the first one, not on the second one. Also struggling. It seems to be a very long reach, but he sticks it on the third. Gets a comfortable position from where he can clip. It's pretty crazy how much energy those swings demand from you. If you stick the hold, then that's it. You spend the energy. But if you don't stick it and you have to swing back, you have to absorb that with body tension and with your arms. So that takes even more energy than managing the hold. Reaches for clip number 5, looking solid. Now let's see how he'll solve this, also with a figure. Tries to reach. It's a bit too much from that position. That also seems to be a very long move. That seemed to be an attempt at a figure. I think he was considering the figure, but it's really awkward to put your feet with crampons through your arms there. Thinks about it again, checks the reach, but that's very far away. Oh, and he arranges himself with one foot on the panel. He reaches without the need for a figure. That looks much more energy efficient than we have seen before. That was a very good move. He's up on the box now. That swing in also takes a lot of core strength to keep it in check. He needs a small shake, recover some of that, go for the clip. And now moving forward from clip number 6. Back on the roof. I think he's reaching the high point that we've seen so far by Marcus. Solid kicks. You don't want your feet popping at this point. And he manages clip number 7. Believe that puts him on the lead for today. It looked like he had stuck that, but he was not comfortable with that. Oh, the feet pop. That takes power to recover. And he does solid progress. He's not running. He's taking his time, shaking a bit, but he's climbing solidly forward. I think he only has a couple of clips left on the roof section. Then he has to move onto this wooden icicle that's hanging. That's also going to be an interesting dismount. You see the small hole there on the side of that rectangular volume. He manages another clip and goes straight for clip number 11 from the same position. He's got to have a good pump at this stage. Nice inverted hold on that. And I believe from here he needs to dismount onto the icicle. That's right. He does it with a figure 4. That's a long reach, but he manages to recover the tool. And that's an elegant dismount. I bet he must be relieved now to get out of that roof and again into a straight section. Probably things get a bit sketchier now with the holds. You got to be a bit more careful. If the roof demands more power, then I'm pretty sure that the straight part demands more finesse. He goes pretty high on that hold. Looked a bit awkward. Awkward always means that it takes more power to hold your body tension in the right place. And he manages the next clip. I believe that is clip number 13. No, that was clip number 12. Now this is number 13. And again, he manages to do 2 clips from the same position. That looks like Sam's hold. Going to a little metal Krukunogi pin. Again, all these holds, you gotta be really careful the direction that you're putting the pull from. He seems to be picking up the pace. I guess he can feel that his time will be up soon. It took him a long time to get through that roof. That's a very long roof. And he's now trying to pick up the pace to see if he can top this route. Oh, one missed kick. That is scary up there. But that's the risk of trying to go a bit faster, trying to beat the clock at this point. Feet not sticking in properly there, but he can still manage to fix it, move on. You can see the time pressure in his movements. At this point, every move counts, every clip counts. And that's a timeout. 16.332 points by Albert. That was a stellar performance. By far the farthest we've seen today. And we have Emilia Bauru starting up on the women's section. Emilia, also an Oulu local. We've seen her many years in the competition. She has made steady progress. Solid kicks. She decides to skip a hold and go straight for the intellect. Perhaps hoping to save some time. Or strength, maybe both. If you have the height to skip a hold, why not? She manages to make the move from the intellect look easy there. Just being very careful with that metal hold. Doesn't seem to trust it too much. Goes cross hand to the shelf. Solid kicks, good position, looking good. Coming to the end of the top rope section, nearing the first clip. And she goes for the long clip from the ball hold. Doesn't look that long now. That looked very good. We've seen the next move to be a bit of a challenge sometimes, a bit of a long reach. Whoop. Little jump there, and she's already on the Steinpull. Goes for the second clip. Clip number 8. And we've seen this next hold to be a bit tricky. Seems to be a bit of a side hold. Feels it up. Oh no, and it pops for her. It is indeed a sensitive hold. We have Juha Lukko-Lipponen climbing up, starting his final route attempt. Seems to be struggling a bit there. He tried to grab the hold from the underside, but didn't trust it, didn't like it. And now he seems to be even scared of kicking. This holds can be very sensitive. And like I said, you really don't want to go down. Ooh, his foot slipped there. That takes not only power, but it can take a bit of your confidence if your feet start slipping and you can't trust them. You gotta keep a solid head when that happens. Again, his foot slips. Well, he does the long reach very well. He's not matching below on this plate. He's just going for the long reach. And it's a bit long, but he sticks it. Looking good. Coming up from the intellect to another delicate hold. You can see the care in his movements. You do not want to slip there. Oh, his foot goes down again. It makes you wonder, is there something off with his crampons? Are his kicks not with the power that he needs? But he seems to be picking it up now, a bit more speed. Coming up to the side. Ooh, small dismount there to get proper legs up. Let's see how he manages to reach to the green hold that we've seen was very long for the other contestants. Small match there to get the upper handle on the ice axe. And look at that, no swing with an inverted hold, which is even longer than the other, a longer reach, and he makes it look so smooth. Just flawless execution on that move there. Wastes no time moving on from there. Doing an easy short clip. It's much more efficient. And how will he approach this panel to box move? We've seen a couple of figures. We've seen one that was a single reach. Yep, he can make another clip from there. Checks. Just giving it a bit of thought. I'm sure it's obvious there that the reach is pretty long. Oop, the foot does not stick up there. I think he's trying to jam it in the hold. Maybe so that he can push better. But it doesn't seem to be sticking very well. And that's costing him precious energy there. Tries to put, no, that's a shame. I think that was all the power he had. 5.13 points for Juha Lipponen. Now we have Erika climbing up. She already moved from the intellect up on the shelf. Careful but solid moves up. She makes the first clip. Oh, and she moves up, managed to get the hold just before the right axe pops. Gets the Stein pull there, a comfortable position to clip, and we've seen a couple of people have problems with the next hold. It seems to be a delicate one. Reaches up, feels it a bit. You want to be sure you're grabbing it from the right place before you move forward. Small match. Very well done. Solid placements. Going up to that semicircular plate. It's a pretty long move, requires the match from underneath. Brings her body pretty high. That looks very solid. Makes for an easy reach. I think she's doubting whether it has to be inverted or normal. You can see her power is yielding a bit there. The body started leaning backwards. I think it took her a little bit too long there to make the hold. But she sticks it. Moves on and is now in position to make the next clip. That's right. I think this is the high point of what we've seen so far. She's considering. Oh, and again, that's a pop from the yellow hold. 11.15 points. And we have another woman contestant, Tilda Kuikanvirta, starting up the route. I believe Tilda is not competing in the Eurocup event because she's not old enough this year to make the cut. I believe she's in the under 19 category. She makes easy work of the intellect and the little metal hold. Matches up with both axes and upper handles. Little switch of handles there to get the right hand on the right spot. Which is a pretty big deal when you're climbing up. You want to make sure that the right handle, left or right, is on the correct hand is on the correct handle. I mean, that gives you that little bit of extra reach between the lower handle and the upper handle can make a huge difference when you're trying to reach for the next hold. So if you reach already with the upper handle with the wrong hand, you're going to have to do a little bit of a switch of hands there to get that corrected. And that takes time, that takes power. Tilda is making her way solidly up. Very strong climbing. Goes up for that delicate hold. Adjusts the body weight accordingly. Solid moves forward. Bit of a problem there with the clip. pretty smooth climbing so far. Very nice performance from Tilda. Does the underhand match to get that necessary height. She gets so much height that she can reach directly with the upper handle right there. We can see that again. She reaches down, makes the match, and already with the upper handle going forward. She had reach to spare there. But she adjusts the hands to get the right hand in the correct handle to go forward. Does the clip. That is clip number 11. And I think this is the high point of what we've seen so far on the women's route. Gives it a little thought. Gets ready. 2 hands for the pull to get in place. Ooh, and the right hand seemed to almost pop, but the left hand was solidly in place. That did not affect her one bit. Long clip there. She makes sure to get that point, and she now has the highest point for sure. I guess that ensures a place in the podium for her, since there are only 2 contestants left and she now has the highest point. We can also see it's getting a bit dark at this time. The FINICE event was this year held 1 week before than previous years, and that affects the sunlight situation quite a lot. At this point, we see that the women's and the men's route, they join. They both meet at this clip number 13. And the routes continue the same afterwards. Very solid climbing from Tilda. I would love to know how much time she has left. And I bet she would love to know that too. I think this is the time when you start trying to make some compromise between speed and being careful. She passed clip 14 and is now going up for clip 15. Reaches the clip. Going up. These are long reaches going up. She finds the little groove on that hold. I think that puts her up to clip number 16. Yes, she's going for the clip. Oops, a little bit of problems clipping that. Those are precious seconds. Nope, that did not go well. She doubts that she gets a better placement with a Stein pull so that she can clip more comfortably there. Precious seconds lost. Seems to be a long reach from that Stein pull there. She's trying to match it. Rearranging herself. Okay, there's 2 little notches, 2 little holes on that hold, and the other one gives her a better angle to reach up, so she wanted to switch that. And she manages that, going up for clip 17. That's, I think, only 2 clips from the top. puts her very high up. But she must be exhausted as well. She needs to stop for a quick shake there. She must be feeling the pump. Oh, and that reach with 17.262 points. Tilda Kuikanvirta. Now, Henri Toivola making his way up, the space cowboy, climbing up full of energy. You can see he has no time to lose. We've watched Henri improve year after year on his FINICE performances. And we're all very excited to see where he will go to today. He's making quick work there on those very sketchy holds. He makes it look easy. You gotta appreciate style in climbing. Also in dressing style. It's reaching up for the last part of the straight route, going up to the roof. And I'm curious again how he'll make this reach towards the green hold. We saw Juha Lipponen make it very smooth without any swing whatsoever. Others have had issues with it. Quick match to get the correct hand on the right handle. Bit of a swing, he misses it on the first. Another proper swing, and he gets that with an inverted hold there. Quick move. You can see he's in a hurry. Coming up to the Panelli. And again, what will be his solution? Will it be a figure? Will he go for the reach? Well, yes, clipping first. And no figure. That looks very nice. I think this is the same solution that Albert used. Closed feet on the panel gives him a very long reach. He is moving very quickly. Bit of an issue there with the feet. That hanging box is not as easy to kick as the static structures. It's harder to get your feet properly in there. Solidly on the roof, he goes for clip number 6. Up to the volume. I think this is where we have second place so far. Markus Huhtala made it this far. And now Henri takes second place with that clip. Bit of a swing there to get the next one. He gets it. You want to make sure that it sticks before you trust your weight. That's very nice. Oh, and he wants to go for an inverted at Steinpool there to get an even better, sturdier hold. Bit of a shake. He's got to be feeling it as well. I think he's like 2/3 up in the roof. Only a couple clips left. 3 clips left for the roof. He makes clip number 9. And now we have, that's right, clip number 10 on the left and clip number 11 hanging. Oh, the feet slipped, but he manages to recover quite well. Clips number 10. No, he didn't. No, he has to try it again. Make sure that's in. That's good. No, still no. Still no. Oh, he's struggling with that clip. He's losing a lot of time and power. He tried to clip the clip to the rope, but that didn't work. Ooh. He must be at the edge of his power there. Trying to get that clip solid. So many attempts at getting that clip. Sometimes when you're so pumped, just getting that clip can be so hard. You can see him struggling, trying to get that clip with all his power. Has he got it? Has he got it now? I can't really tell. Yes, he has got it. He moves. One more hold. Oh, but he leaves the axe behind. Ah, he managed to dismount. But the axe has not fallen. He can still manage the next clip. He can still get that 1 point. Yep. Yes, he goes for the clip. Struggling a little bit, of course, yeah. But he manages the clip, and now I guess he has to go back for the axe. There's no other option. He asks for some encouragement from the audience as he decides to climb back the route. The dry tooling shoes, the plywood shoes, are not very good in ice. He's struggling to get a good foot placement there. If that would be plywood, that would be a bit better. Ooh, a heel hook on ice to go up. Oof, that's a pretty tough position to be in. One swing and he falls. That's a excellent performance by Henri Toivola. Now, Finnish legend Enni Bertling starting her ascent on the women's final route. She's climbing carefully there at the beginning. We can see that the sun has pretty much gone away by this time of the day. Things get pretty dark at this time. Making easy work of the first clip there, Enni. Ooh, she decides to match on the ball. Trying to get comfortable there. She doesn't want to take any risks. Going for the Stein pull. And clip number 8. Double checks that tricky hold. Yep. You don't want to be falling from that. Not when you still have full power on your arms. She gets clip number 10. Is now at the semicircle. Does the matching. And I'm not sure if that match is a Stein pull or a floating hold. I think it's a floating hold, yes. It's not as solid as a Stein pull. It requires way more body tension than a Stein pull. But she makes easy work of it. Long clip with a quick shake there. Solid body positioning there. Getting the required height. Just the necessary reach. Bit more for the next one. And that's a very tricky, just a tiny little notch there. She already got clip number 12. And she's moving on to where the men and women's routes meet. Clip number 13. Some pretty delicate holds there. Quick rest. And goes for, and gets clip number 13. Quick shake there by Enni. She climbs very solidly up. Trying to shake every now and then, making sure she doesn't run out of power or pumps too fast. Clip number 14 is that. Bit of a rest. Takes a second to plan her feet, to plan her move. She goes down a bit. I guess she didn't really... Something was off. Yes, she missed clip in there. Ooh, she had a Z clip. But luckily she figured that out before moving forward. Otherwise she would have had to down climb and that would have been a disaster. It's very good that she realized that. She lost a couple of seconds, but otherwise, I guess not too much power. Good catch there by Enni. Alright, we saw her already do clip number 15. I think this is where Tilda had a bit of a trouble clipping. She went for the Stein pull instead. Enni manages clip number 16 and then goes for the Stein pull. Oh, bit of a jump there. We go up. I think she already has clip number 17. She's at the bottom of the box. And that's only 2 clips left for the top. 18 and then the top. She managed number 18 and she's just 2 steps from the top. It's right there. At this time of the night, it's pretty hard to see those holds and what she's going to. Well, the shadows are on top and she's climbing from below, so I guess the shadows are not affecting that much. She's one away from the top. And that's it. That's it. She clips the top, 2 axes on top, and that's the first top of the day for the women's route. Excellent performance by Enni Berling. And now we have Pauli Salminen from Helsinki, climbing up the men's route. We can see he was also thinking the same, that it gets a little bit dark, and he's climbing with a headlamp here. That's clever from Pauli. Smooth moves up. making easy work of this straight section. Going up to the top of the straight part. Let's see, Pauli is our last climber from the male section. Let's see how he does this little switch to the green hold. Will it be a swing? Not a swing. That was very solid. Quick dismount to get better feet placements. That is very elegant climbing by Pauli. It doesn't seem to be in terrible hurry, but he just moves very smoothly forward. He checks the reach. Decides to go for the clip first. Oh wow. That's a long reach. Very nice from Pauli. He didn't even have to bring his feet on the panel, and no figure. Then he moves straight forward. Did not even put his feet on the hanging box before. No need for that. That's very elegant. Reaching up from there already with the upper handle, getting ready for the next move before he has to do it. He knows what's coming, and he knows he has the reach to go straight with the upper handle. Quick dismount again to get the feet placed. It's very efficient climbing by Pauli. Very smooth, very nice. Slowly coming to the end of the roof. I think still a couple of clips left. 3 clips, yes. There's one more proper on the roof, and then the one that's hanging next to the wooden icicle. Makes short work of the clip that Henry had so much trouble clipping. And clips number 12 gets ready for the dismount. And dismounts into one arm, no figure. Just like that. So much power left for Pauli that he could make a smooth dismount with one hand. Uses his hand to get a bit higher on that hold, get a good reach and stable. Okay, I guess, alright, this is clip number 12. The one that was hanging next to the icicle was 11. He gets now clip number 12. And goes up to where the men and women's route meet on clip number 13. Quick shake there, getting some power back. I don't think I've seen him shake so far. Wow, so much power, so much endurance for Pauli. He makes it almost look easy here. Bit of a long clip there on clip number 14. shake. Clip number 15 done. Yes, 15 is where we saw Tilda go first for that Stein pull. Now moving forward. Close to clip 17, close to the box, very close to the top. I don't have a timer, but it feels like he has a lot of time left. He has been moving so smoothly the whole time. That seems like a solid hold. Kind of a Stein pull there on the Stein pull that becomes a floater there under the volume. And he clips number 18 now. Yes, he's getting to it. Good. And he's just next to the top. I think we're gonna have our first men's top, first and only men's top for the evening. He reaches the last one, and I think that speaks volumes about the root setter, where only a single competitor tops. The other comes close. That's exactly what a root setter wants. Excellent root setting by Tapio Alfonso. And Pauli reaches the top. Pretty awesome climb. Incredibly solid. First and only top of the route by the men. Excellent climb by Pauli Salminen. And up as our last contestant, we have Mira Alfonso starting the women's route. Also a legendary ice climber and competitor from Finland. I believe there's been a very nice friendly rivalry between Mira and Enni. So they're both aiming for the first place here. Let's see how this turns out. We saw Enni top the route. We're expecting Mira tops it as well, so it might come down to time. And I think she might know that. It might be in my head, but I feel like I sense a bit of urgency in her moves. She knows she has to top. She knows she has to do it fast. And when I say I know, it obviously means I suspect, because all the climbers have been in isolation. They have not seen any of the other climbers climb the route, so they don't actually know what has happened before. They don't know how far they have to get a podium position, and they don't know what other solutions other climbers have taken for the route. I believe I see Mira also took a headlamp because of the darkness, but it's not on. I'm not sure if she forgot or if she's planning to turn it on later. I don't know. But she seems to be doing easy work of the route, reaching clip number 10. And she matches the half circle both on top, not below like all the other climbers. Interesting, and he managed to get such a high reach without the undercling. That's excellent technique by Mira. Smooth drop knee there. It looks so comfortable how she manages to make that long reach and aim to that little notch on the hold to make that hold stick. Clip number 12 is done. Moving very solidly, very quickly. Quick mini shake there. Almost nothing. There you go again. One swing to shake a bit of the pump. And to clip number 13. Quick shake to move forward. No time to waste. Reaching up to clip 14. Clips that. Taking some thought there on how to grab this one. This little rock there. You gotta respect those holds. Even if you have the power left, you still gotta make sure you're grabbing them right so that the axe does not slip away. Clip number 15 done. Now coming up to clip number 16. Quick shake there. Going to the undercling. Oops, needs to shake again. That's a very precise move where you have to get the tip of the axe right in that small hold. She struggles a bit. Wonders if she can get it from the top. Is there something else from the top? Perhaps she's having issues seeing the hold there in the shadows. I see it's right in the shadow. Nope, she manages to get it in. Quickly moves the feet up. She knows she's lost some time in there. Essential time that she needs. Time and power that she needs to top this route and hopefully get gold. Clip number 17 made. One more. Moving towards the box now. That kind of Steinpool hold under the box is the next. Mira going up and nope, going down. Somehow she did not trust that hold. Or maybe she did not trust her arms? I'm not sure, but something happened that made her come back down and take a shake. And she knows she needs to do this quick. But something told her that that was not the time. She needed a quick rest. Recover, and these are precious seconds. She goes another time, now sticks the hold, gets out of that volume. Quick footwork, going up to clip 18, and that's the last clip before the top. That's just one more hold. Little shake just before, still shaking before the last top. She must be exhausted. Gets that last top, another shake before she clips. Both axes are there, but she needs to clip to get the top. She clips it, second axe, that's done, that's it. Puts her on the top and she takes the gold. Thank you for watching, and thanks to all of the FINICE organizers and volunteers that made this possible. This was a fantastic event. Join us next year. Goodbye.